Please welcome to the stage the fabulous Avi Hoffman.
Shalom Aleichem! So Aaron Kula, what a band, huh? Give the band a big hand. So Aaron Kula and I got together a few years ago, and we started working together, and we ended up traveling to where Yiddish theater actually began, in Romania. And we performed in the theater, twice already, in the theater where the Yiddish theater actually started. And so when we were talking about putting together a concert with this fabulous band, we decided to put together something that started with the beginnings, where the origins of the Yiddish theater began, and it came through Europe to 2nd Avenue in New York. And then that Yiddish theater in New York influenced and became the foundation for American and modern world culture. So we're going to start the Yiddish section of the show with a song, maybe the most beautiful Yiddish lullaby ever written. It's all about a widow who's sitting in the corner of the temple with her little baby boy. And he's sitting in his crib, and under the crib there's a little white goat. And she sings to him how that little goat will take the child off to the marketplace to buy what was in those days a great luxury: raisins and almonds, Rozinkes mit Mandeln. In dem Beis Hamikdosh, in a Winkel Cheder, sitzt die Almone, bastien allein. Ihr Ben Yochidl Idalen, wiegt sie Keseder, in singt ihm zum Schlafen, a Lied alle Schein. Unter Idales Wiegele steht a Kloweis Ziegele. Das Ziegele ist gefrorene Handeln. Das wird sein dein Baruch. Rozinkes mit Mandeln. Schlaf, Sheidale, schlaf, Sheidale, schlaf, Sheidale, schlaf, Thank you very much. So I would like to invite you all for the rest of this show to really enjoy the delightful, the delectable, and the delicious smorgasbord of music from Borscht to Broadway. And these are the songs that influenced the great composers that ended up becoming the most famous in the world, and we'll get to them later. This next Yiddish song, again, is probably the happiest and most famous of Yiddish tunes. It was written by Abraham Elstein, and the lyrics are, and it was performed by the great Yiddish actress, Molly Pecan. And the gist of this song is that the most important thing in life is what? Being healthy, right? No matter what's going on in the world, no matter how bad things might be, as long as you have the air to breathe and the sun is shining, as long as you have your health, you can be healthy. Abi gesinnt, kann man glücklich sein. A bissl Sinn, a bissl Regen, a Rego, dem Kopf zu legen, a wie gesinnt, kann man glücklich sein. A Schulchazor, a Kleid und Lattes im Keschene, a Dreiviertels Lottes, a wie gesinnt, kann man glücklich sein. Die Sonne, sie scheint, für alle gleich. Die Luft ist frei, bei jedem einem Ohren oder Reich. A bissl Glück, a bissl Lachen, amul mit Freien, a Schnäpsel machen, a wie gesinnt, kann mit glücklich sein. Einer auf das ganze Welt. Einer meint das ganze Glück hängt noch um den Geld. Sollen alle kriechen, sollen alle sieben, doch ich mein bei mir. Ich hab es euch Kapuris, weil das Glück hängt bei mein Tier. A bissl Sinn, a bissl Regen, a Rico, der Kopf zu legen, a wie gesinnt. Can make glücklich sein. A Schulchazor, a Kleid und Lattes, in Keschene, a Dreiviertels Lottes, a wie gesinnt, kann man glücklich sein. Die Luft ist frei, für alle gleich. Die Sonne, sie scheint, für jeden einem Ohren oder Reich. A bissl Glück, a bissl Lachen, a Mut mit Freien, a Schnäpsel machen, a wie gesinnt, a wie gesinnt, kann man glücklich sein. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we're going to close our Yiddish section of the show with a song that's very obscure. None of you have ever really heard this song. But what Aaron and I discovered when we were in Romania is that in the Yiddish theater, that's where country music actually started. And so this next song is actually the first country song ever written for the Yiddish theater. And so in spite of the fact that you don't know it, I'm sure you will enjoy it very much. So we'd like to introduce you to this first country song. Soll sein Saft! Romania, 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 Romania. You know this song. Sigevena mulalan azisa shene. Romania, 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 die Amulet, Romania is de eerste, Romania, 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 Romania. Ze geween Amula land, a süße, a feine. Dort zu wohnen ist a Vergnügen. Wo's das Herzglas kämen dorten kriegen. A Mamaligale, a Pastramale, a Karnatzale und a Gläsale Wein. In Rumänien ist doch geht, find kein Sorgen, weiß man nicht. Wein trinkt man spät noch spät und verweist mit Castrovet. Ei digge digge dam, digge 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 dam, ei digge digge dam, digge digge dam, ei digge digge dam, digge 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 dam, ei digge digge dam, digge digge dam. Ei in Rumänien ist doch geht, find kein Deiges, weiß man nicht. Wein trinkt man überall in verweist mit Castaval. Ei digge digge dam, ei digge digge dam, ei digge digge dam, digge digge dam, ei digge digge dam, digge 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 dam, ei digge digge dam, digge digge dam. Oi gewaltig wel beschige, find der Prinz in Mama liegt, tanze freisach bis der Stelje, wenn ich es abpackle, delle Sigbab, keine Liedame, Sigbab, keine Liedame, Sigbab, keine Liedame, Sigbab, keine Liedame. Eis ist am Achaie, besser kann ich sein. Ei, a Pargenig ist doch rumänisch Wein. Ei, die Rumänen trinken Wein im Nesten, Mama liege, im Beres geschein Egenweib, jener ist beschicke. Hoi, Sigbab, keine Liedame, Sigbab, keine Liedame, Sigbab, keine Liedame, Sigbab, keine Liedame. Eis ist am Achaie, besser kann ich sein. Ei, a Pargenig ist doch rumänisch Wein. Ei, 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 ei. Ay digga digga dam digga 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 dam ay digga digga dam digga digga dam ay digga digga dam digga 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 dam ay digga digga dam digga digga dam az ich geloben Geld das sagt das ist nicht kein Winder Galiciane machen Geld und Litwak ist Kinder halt keine Liedam keine Liedam keine Liedam keine Liedam der was macht Geld das sagt der ganze Tag ist der gleiche Tag war das der ganze Tag halt keine Liedam Never muss sich und sie weht sich und sie lässt sich. Los dich meid, alle los dich. Los dich meid, alle los dich. Los dich meid, alle los dich. Immer mit deiner hat sich auch gelost. Hey! 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 Ich gibt's ein Kist, ist am Moid, wenn sie alt sechsen. Als bekischt ein alter Moid, hebt sie uns zu krachen. Set, hey du Liedam, set, hey du Liedam, set, hey du Liedam, set, hey du Liedam. Heiß ist am Chai, besser kann ich sein. Ei, a Pargenigen ist doch rumänisch. Welche Chaim umgekippt, dass der Heilig Ziege nimmt. Welche Chaim Burgspiel, hat der Kitzel in der Stille. Set, hey du Liedam, set, hey du Liedam, set, hey du Liedam, set, hey du Liedam. Heiß ist am Chai, besser kann ich sein. Ei, a Pargenigen ist doch rumänische Wein. Romania, 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 Maestro Aaron Kula and the Klezmer Company Jazz Orchestra. Thank you so much. So I know you didn't know that song, but that song was really one of the songs that turned the Yiddish theater into more than just something that a few people went to. That was one of the songs that instigated an entire generation to go to the theater and go out and start to explore other languages. And so, in order for us to continue this afternoon, I would like to invite three of the most talented performers, very, very dear friends of mine. So first, I'd like to invite Oscar Cheda. The beautiful Lindsey Corey. And the extraordinary Laura Turnbull. So, the songs that you just heard were some of the most popular numbers in the Yiddish theater, which traveled with those who were escaping the pogroms and the hardships of Jewish life in Europe. And they came to America to find safety and to build a new life. The Jewish immigrants flocked to 2nd Avenue in New York, where they could see the great stars of the many Yiddish theaters that were there. Maurice Schwartz, Boris Tomaszewski, Jacob P. Adler, and of course the magnificent Molly Pecan.
In the Yiddish theater, the Jewish immigrants could learn about their new world. These theaters became the foundation for the golden age of American creativity, which influenced every aspect of world culture.
From music to comedy, film and television, Yiddish theater went on to become the greatest influence not only on American culture, but on many of the great American Broadway composers, like Irving Berlin, who was born Israel Isidore Beilin in 1888, and is widely considered one of the greatest songwriters in American history.
Irving Berlin was a Jewish composer who wrote great songs in the American tradition, like White Christmas and Easter Parade. He wanted everyone to love this country as much as he did. The United States of America, the Golden Land, the land of freedom and opportunity.
God bless America.
One of the things that I forgot to tell you earlier is that normally when you go to see a show, everybody kind of shushes you and says, all right, let the performers sing by themselves. I say the exact opposite. Tonight, or this afternoon, I want you to sing along as loud as you want, dance in the aisles, have a good time. We are here to celebrate, so sing with us. So this next composer, maybe one of the most important composers in the history of American music and Broadway. His name was George Gershwin. He was born Jacob Bruskin Gershowitz in Brooklyn in 1898. He was of Russian and Lithuanian ancestry, and his family moved to New York due to increasing anti-Jewish sentiment in Russia. The family lived in many different residences as their father changed dwellings with each new enterprise in which he became involved. and they grew up mostly in the Yiddish theater district. George and his brother Ira frequented the local Yiddish theaters, and George occasionally appeared on stage in the Yiddish theater as an extra. In 1919, he scored his first big national hit with the song Swanee, and the most famous entertainer of the time was named Asa Yolson, Al Jolson. He heard Gershwin perform Swanee at a party, and he decided to sing it in one of his shows, and the rest, as they say, is history. His compositions span both the popular and the classical genres, and among his best-known works are the 1930 jazz classic I Got Rhythm and the 1935 opera Porgy and Bosche and Bess, which gave us this magnificent hit song, Summertime. So as we said, George Gershwin grew up in the Yiddish theater. And how many of you here this afternoon actually had a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah? Great. So I'm sure you all remember the Haftorah, right? Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Well, George Gershwin had a bar mitzvah. And he took that melodic line and turned it into one of the most amazing songs in the history of American musical theater.
It ain't necessarily so.
It ain't necessarily so.
The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so.
Little David was small, but oh my.
Little David was small, but oh my.
He fought big Goliath, who laid down and died. Little David was small, but oh my.
Oh, I do. Zip-a-booty-oo.
Zip-a-booty-oo.
Hooty-oo-the-wada.
Hooty-ooty-wada.
Scatty-wah.
Scatty-wah. Yeah. Oh, Jonah, he lived in the whale.
Oh, Jonah, he lived in the whale.
For he made his home in that fish's abdomen. Oh, Jonah, he lived in the whale.
Little Moses was found in a stream.
Little Moses was found in a stream.
He floated on water till old Pharaoh's daughter, she fished him, she says, from that stream. Oh, I do. Zip-a-booty-oo.
Zip-a-booty-oo.
Hooty-oo-the-wada.
Hooty-ooty-wada.
Scatty-wah.
Scatty-wah. Yeah. It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. They tell all you children the devil's a villain, but tain't necessarily so. To get into heaven, don't snap for a 7. Live clean, don't have no fault. Oh, I take that gospel whenever it's possible, but with a grain of salt. Methuselah lived 900 years. Methuselah lived 900 years. But who calls that living when no gallows given to no man? What's 900 years?
I'm preaching this sermon to show
It ain't Nessa, ain't Nessa,
ain't
necessarily so.
Days can be sunny with never a sigh. Don't need what money can buy. Birds in the tree sing their day full of song. Why shouldn't we sing along? I'm chipper all the day, happy with my lot. How did I get that way? Look at what I've got. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man who can ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures, I got my man who can ask for anything more. Old man trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him
Turnbull, Lindsey Corey, and the flying fingers of Phil Hinton. So generally I'm the one who speaks the most, but every so often I convince Aaron to say a few words. And so I'd like to invite him to introduce the next great composer, someone with whom he has had a personal relationship. Aaron Kula.
Leonard Bernstein made his mark on American culture as no other musician. In 2018, we celebrated worldwide his 100th birthday. He was a towering figure and he did many things: conductor, composer, pianist, educator, musician, philosopher, Hebraic scholar, Talmudic scholar, cultural ambassador, and the most important to him would be humanitarian. Often described as an American original, Bernstein is known all over the world as the composer of West Side Story. But he also composed many other works, Broadway works included. His Jewish roots always remained important to him, and he composed many Jewish works such as Jeremiah's Symphony and Kaddish, just to name a few. Throughout his life, he struggled with his faith. And in his faith, he found a piece of music that he wrote called Kaddish, in which he presents an argument with God, nose to nose, eye to eye, lip to lip, shaking his fist at God, accusing God of breaching his faith with humanity by allowing brutality against mankind, not only World War II and all the other atrocities, but something very personal, the death of his father. But even during this crisis of faith, he believed in the goodness of mankind. And my friend Jamie Bernstein, Leonard Bernstein's daughter, told me that her father believed if he could write that perfect composition, he could repair the world. He could fix all the problems. He had many honors, Grammys, doctoral degrees, Emmys, and the Recording Academy Lifetime Achievement Award. In her Leonard Bernstein biography, Joan Pizer wrote that he was a magnetic figure, so complex and such a major figure that we mortals couldn't understand who he was and what he was trying to accomplish. But yet, through his musicianship, his acts of humanitarianism and kindness, he was able to connect to all people, all over the world, of all faiths and of all backgrounds. Hope you enjoy our segment.
People in each room. Automobile in America, chromium steel in America, wire smoke wheel in America, very big deal in America. I'll drive a Buick through San Juan. If there's a road you can drive on, I'll give my cousins a free ride. How you get all of them inside? Immigrant goes to America, many hellos in America, nobody knows in America, Puerto Rico's in America. water to keep clean. I like the shores of America. Comfort is yours in America. Knobs on the doors in America. Wall-to-wall floors in America. When will you shut up and get gone?
Everyone there will give big cheer.
Everyone there will have moved here.
Leonard Bernstein was born Louis Bernstein in 1918 in Lawrence, Massachusetts. He was the son of Ukrainian Jewish parents, his mother Jenny Resnick and his father Samuel Joseph Bernstein, who sold hairdressing supplies. His fame derived from his long tenure as the music director of the New York Philharmonic and from his conducting of concerts with most of the world's leading orchestras. Many of his works are regularly performed around the world, although none has matched the tremendous popular and critical success of West Side Story.
Imagine being afraid of you.
See,
I see you.
Maria, see only me.
Only you, you're the only thing I'll see forever. In my eyes, in my words, and in everything I do. Nothing else but you ever.
And there's nothing for me but Maria. Every sight that I see is Maria.
Tony, Tony.
Always you, every thought I'll ever know. Everywhere I go, you'll be.
All the world is only you and me. Tonight, tonight, it all began tonight. I saw you when the world went away. Tonight, tonight, there's only you tonight. What do you do, what do you see?
Today, all day, I had a feeling a miracle would happen. I know now I was right. For here you are, and what was just a world is a star.
Tonight, tonight, the world is full of light,
With suns and moons all over the place. Tonight, tonight, the world is wild and bright, going mad, shooting stars into space. Today, the world was just an address, a place for me to live in, no better than alright. But here you are, and what was just a world is a star. Tonight.
greatest example of the Jewish influence on Broadway is undoubtedly the famous musical Fiddler on the Roof by Jerry Bach, Sheldon Harnick, and Joseph Stein. It is set in Russia in the early 1900s and is based on the stories of Tevye the Dairyman by Sholem Aleichem. Now, the original Broadway production of the show, which opened in 1964, was the first to surpass 3,000 performances. Fiddler held the record for the longest-running Broadway musical for almost 10 years. It won 9 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, Score, Book, Direction, and Choreography. There have been multiple Broadway revivals, a highly successful 1971 film adaptation, and the show has enjoyed enduring international popularity, including the most recent hit New York production entirely in the Yiddish language. The story centers on Tevye, who is struggling to maintain his Jewish religious and cultural traditions as outside influences encroach on the family's lives.
A fiddler on the roof. Sounds crazy, no? But here in our little village of Anatevka, you might say that every one of us is a fiddler on the roof, trying to scratch out a pleasant, simple tune without breaking his neck. It isn't easy. Now you may ask, why do we stay up there if it's so dangerous? We stay because Anatevka is our home. And how do we keep our balance, huh? This, I can tell you in one word. Tradition. 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 Because of our traditions, we've kept our balance for many, many years. Here in Anatevka, we have a tradition for everything. How to eat, how to sleep, even how to wear clothes. Now you may ask, how did these traditions start? I'll tell you. I don't know. But these are traditions. And because of our traditions, everyone knows who he is and what God expects him to do. Who day and night must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children, say his daily prayers, and who has the right, as master of the house, to have the final word at home. Oh, the Papa, the Papa, tradition, the Papa, the Papa, tradition.
Who must know the way to make a proper home, a quiet home, a kosher home? Who must raise a family and run the home, so Papa's free to read the holy book?
The mama, the mama, tradition. The mama, the mama, tradition.
At 3, I started Hebrew school. At 10, I learned a trade. I hear they picked a bride for me. I hope she's pretty.
The sons, the sons, tradition. The sons, the sons, tradition.
And who does Mama teach to mend and tend and fix, preparing me to marry whoever Papa picks? The daughters,
The daughters, tradition. The daughters, tradition. Day and night must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children, send and learn to take the right
I hear they
the
pick
house,
the right
wrong word, the papa.
Tradition, the daughter.
Tradition.
Tradition, tradition, tradition.
Tradition. Tradition. Without our traditions, our lives would be as shaky as a fiddler on the roof. Thank you. Is this the little girl I carry? Is this the little boy at play?
I don't remember growing older. When did they?
When did she get to be a beauty? When did he grow to be so tall?
Wasn't it yesterday when they were small?
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly flow the days. Seedlings turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as we gaze.
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the years, one season following another, laden with happiness and tears.
What words of wisdom can I give them? How can I help to ease their way?
Now they must learn from one another, day by day.
They look so natural together.
Just like two newlyweds should be.
Is there a canopy in store for me?
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the years.
I want to marry your daughter's title. What do you think?
What do I think? What do I think? He's a butcher, but he likes her. He'll try to make her happy. What do I think? It's a match to our agreement, to our prosperity, to good health and happiness, and most important, to life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. Here's to the father I've tried to be.
Here's to my bride-to-be.
Drink l'chaim, to life, l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. Life has a way of confusing us.
Blessing and bruising us.
Drink l'chaim to life. God would like us to be joyful, even when our hearts lie panting on the floor.
How much more can we be joyful when there's really something to be joyful for?
To life, l'chaim. To title my daughter,
My wife! It gives you something to think about.
something to drink about. Drink l'chaim.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Where are the clouds? Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. Where are the clouds? Send in the clouds. Just when I stopped opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours, making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lines, no one is there. Don't you love farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clouds? Quick, send in the clouds. Don't bother, they're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. And where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe next year. We travel single O. Maybe we're lucky, but I don't know. With them, just let one kid fall down and 7 mothers faint. I guess we're both happy, but maybe we ain't.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Their children needing other children, and yet letting a grown-up pride hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children.
Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people.
People who need people
Are the luckiest people in the
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? I'll march my band out, I'll beat my drum, and if I'm fanned out, your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, pat, sir. I guess I didn't make it, but whether I'm the rose of sheer perfection, a freckle on the nose of life's complexion, the cinder or the shiny apple of its eye, sir. I guess I didn't make it. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my heart to drummer. Nobody, no, nobody is gonna rain on my One of the amazing elements of Sound of Music was the depiction of the rise of Nazism, which became an integral part of another famous Broadway musical, Cabaret. In 1966, John Kander, Fred Ebb, and Joe Masteroff wrote this hit musical based on John Van Druten's 1951 play, I Am a Camera, which was itself adapted from the 1939 novel Goodbye to Berlin by Christopher Isherwood. Set in 1931 Berlin as the Nazis are rising to power, it focuses on the nightlife at the seedy Kit Kat Club. Overseeing the action is the master of ceremonies at the Kit Kat Club. The club serves as a metaphor for the ominous political developments in the late Weimar Germany. The 1966 original Broadway production became a hit, inspiring numerous subsequent productions in London and New York, as well as the 1972 film. The social and political commentary of this show are as relevant today as they were 50 years ago. What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, oh chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book, and the broom. Time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, oh chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Come blow your horn. Start celebrating right this way. Your table's waiting. No use permitting some prophet of doom to wipe every smile away. Life is a cabaret, oh chum. Come to the cabaret. I used to have a girlfriend known as Elsie, with whom I shared 4 sordid rooms in Chelsea. She wasn't what you'd call a blushing flower. As a matter of fact, she rented by the hour. The day she died, the neighbors came to snicker. Well, that's what comes of too much pills and liquor. But when I saw her laid out like a queen, she was the happiest corpse I'd ever seen. I think of Elsie to this very day. I remember how she turned to me and said, what good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, oh chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book, and the broom. Time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, oh chum. Come to the cabaret. And as for me, I I made my mind up back in Chelsea. When I go, I'm going like Elsie. Start by admitting from cradle to tomb. Isn't that long a stay? Life is a cabaret, old chum. Only a cabaret, old chum. And I love a
Lindsey Corey, ladies and gentlemen. So, recently, the world actually lost one of the most important creative forces on Broadway. The one and only Jerry Herman. Oliver Scholem. He was born Gerald Sheldon Herman in Manhattan in 1931 to middle-class Jewish parents, and he became the most beloved American composer and lyricist, best known for his hit Broadway musicals Mame, Milk and Honey, La Cage aux Folles, and of course, Hello, Dolly.
He learned to play piano at an early age, and his family frequently attended Broadway musicals. His father, Harry, was a gym teacher, and in the summer he worked in the Catskill Mountain hotels. His mother, Ruth Sachs, also worked as a singer in the hotels and eventually became an English teacher. Jerry used to say that his mother was as glamorous as Mame and as witty as Dolly.
He was nominated for the Tony Award 5 times and won twice. In 2009, Jerry Herman received the Special Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in the Theater, and he was a recipient of the 2010 Kennedy Center Honors. A graduate of our very own South Florida University of Miami.
My alma mater. Yeah.
You can still see shows there at the Jerry Herman Ring Theater.
He was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1982, and his work has been the subject of 2 popular musical reviews, Jerry's Girls and Showtune. A 2007 documentary about his life and career was broadcast on PBS. He has been described as the eternal optimist, and his influence will be felt for generations to come.
Hello, Harry. Well, hello, Louis. It's so nice to be back home where I belong. You're looking swell, Danny, I can tell. Manny, you're still glowing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. I feel the room swaying for the band's playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So bridge that gap, fellas, find me an empty lap, fellas, darling, you'll never go away again.
So, if you've got nothing else out of this concert this afternoon, I hope that you have realized that as these Jewish composers who came from Europe and created a Yiddish theater which influenced the American musical theater on Broadway, one of the overarching sentiments that they brought with them and tried to pass on to all of us is the idea that no matter how bad things might be right now, they always had a sense of optimism that tomorrow will always be better than today. And that's what we should strive for. A better tomorrow.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow, come what may. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. And when I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, oh, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow, come what may. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're so kind.